And good morning and welcome here to the Varsity contest. The North Fulton Wildcats and the West Prairie Cyclones, again joined by Ethan Hunt here. And this one we'll see the JV was able to defeat North Fulton, but really took them a little bit, especially that game number 2. And we'll have to see the Varsity coming off a really tough contest versus Monmouth-Roseville. Can they pick it up here on a Saturday morning?
Yeah, in that first game, West Prairie held all the momentum in game 1, but game 2 was a story of rallies. North Fulton, I think, started out 6-1, and West Prairie went up about 10-7, and then it was, 14-10, and then 15-14, and then we kind of stayed tied like that all the way up into the very end. So it was a nice, hard-fought match in game 2.
And we'll have to see the North Fulton team of quite a few of some of the same characters, but they do have a little more size. You can see on the varsity. I was just noting that Grace Brideson, and I'm guessing, Ethan, it's hard for us to tell from here, but probably 5'9", 5'10"-ish, so going to give a little bit of a size advantage to the North Fulton Wildcats, and that's something we're going to have to watch here because as Tim Kerr from Southeastern joked last week, these Southeastern and West Prairie might be the two best teams in a 5'9" and under league. So they definitely size. And on Tuesday night, the games run together, folks. The old mind gets kind of mushy. The Tuesday night, Rushville Industries size did present some problems for the Cyclones. So we'll see, Ethan, how they counteract that.
Getting ready for the anthem here.
And I'm going to step aside and do my PA duties, so I'll turn things over to Ethan.
Once again, getting ready for the national anthem here. Maybe you'll be able to hear Greg over the PA system.
Welcome to the West Prairie High School for today's varsity matchup between the Wildcats of North Fulton and your West Prairie Cyclones. At this time, please rise and gentlemen remove your caps for the playing of our national anthem. Number 15, Caitlin Collier. Number 13, Kendra Hartstern. Number 31, Grace Brideson. Number 25, Jenna Gorsuch. Number 12, Abby Patterson. Number 17, Jenna Slish. And the libero, number 1, Audrey Taccaroni. The Wildcats are coached by Julia McConkey and assisted by Reggie Irwin. Now grab your hats, the wind's blowing in, the storm front's coming, and now the lineup
for your West Prairie Cyclones. Number 4, McLean Ignell. Number 9, Allie Arnold. Number 1, Malia Houston. Number 2, Madison Calvert. Number 8, Addison Despain. Number 11, Brooklyn Welsh. And number 5, the libero, Gwen Kelke. Cyclones are coached by Terry Paul, assisted by Drew Snyder, Caleb Hall, Patty Clark, and the birthday girl, happy 21st birthday to Coach Erica Clark. The officials for today's game are Greg Johnson and Jim Cahill. Good luck, everyone.
Nice job announcing there by you, Greg.
Well, thank you. I'd like to put a little enthusiasm, or a tiny bit of enthusiasm into what I do there. Always makes it kind of give the girls the real stadium feel of it.
And we actually have about a half-full stadium, I'd say. A lot of parents here tonight. It's nice to see.
Collier will serve it first. Gwen Calke with it. Ignell out to Houston. And Houston, we have a problem. As Malia Houston makes it 1-0 West Prairie on the side out. Ignell will serve it for West Prairie, serving into the back row. Popped up there by Gorsuch, and now Taccaroni will hit it across off of a diving Despain, and then Calvert brings it over, dug up by Hartstern. Set up for Bridson, she'll tap it across, dug up by Arnold. Ignell sends it back, and tipped up by Patterson, set on the outside. That is Hartstern, and McLean Ignell couldn't quite gather it back in, earns a side out back for North Fulton. Serving is Kendra Hartstern. Hartstern brings the low line drive off of Calvert. Ignell on the fly, gets to it. And now Calvert will bring it through, dug by Taccaroni in the back row, outside to Patterson, and dug there by Despain for West Prairie. Set up for Houston. And Taccaroni, nice dig again. Patterson in the middle. Bridson has to bump it across, and Gwen Calke takes it. Patty Despain, the back row attack. Hits it into the net and makes it 2-1 North Fulton. The Wildcats in the red and gray serve again off of Despain. Ignell sets it to the outside. Here comes Calvert. Tries the soft shot this time, and Collier takes it. Loaded for Patterson, and that one hit long and out of bounds. So it'll be a side out to the Cyclones. Calissa Watkins going to come in, replacing Arnold for West Prairie. And Watkins gets ready to let it fly from the right-hand side, sends it across. Taccaroni going to bring it up front to Collier. The Bridson tips it over, and Despain's underneath it. Ignell going to set it. Calvert the attack, sends it back row. Hartstern is there. Outside setup for Gorsuch, and Gwen Calke takes it. Ignell, nice save at the net. Calvert pounds it over, and bring it up. Tapped over by Patterson, played by Watkins. Ignell, right side setup. It is Despain off of the arms of Collier and out, and West Prairie regains the lead at 3-2. Calissa Watkins will serve it here again, as she'll wind up and send. Brings it high into the back row. Taccaroni trying to take it, just could not get it in time, and it is 4-2. Perfect placement on that serve, Ethan.
Yeah, hard to the back row.
Watkins off the side of her hand, popped up there by Bridson, tipped across, and Calke takes it for West Prairie. Ignell out for Despain, blocked. Houston tried to recover it, could not. And a nice job, Bridson saying, stay on your own side. And now she'll be subbed down to the 4-3 side out. Coming in for North Fulton is number 4. And we'll catch that in just, or 14 rather. Serve dropping in front of Gwen Calke. Bandage up an ace for Gracie Sharping. Makes it 4-4 tie here in game number 1. It is best 2 out of 3 falls. Falls do not count anywhere. Serve by Sharping. Nice line drive serve. Kalki up with it to Agnell for Despain, and she'll hammer that one into the net. And so North Fulton has taken their first lead at 5-4. Serve short floater. Calvert's underneath it. They're going to back set for Houston. Caught the line and a side out back to West Prairie. That's going to bring Malia Houston out. Brooklyn Welsh will come in on the front line, and Gwen Kalki will go back to serve. And now Takaroni will come back in the back row to serve, or to as the libero. 5-5 tie. Serve by Kalki. Takaroni brings it up front. Collier had to get it out of the net. Tipped, and Welsh keeps it alive. Agnell on the run with it to Calvert. That one just a little bit too long and out of bounds. And makes it a 6-5 advantage. The Cyclones had a little trouble with that at Monmouth Roseville too. Getting things a little long. 6-5 lead for North Fulton. Gorsuch up to Agnell. They bring it to the outside. Despain unloads. Puts it past the libero Takaroni and good. And ties us back up at 6. And I still say I'm going to start a fund for a light bulb for the scoreboard. Madison Calvert serves it and picked up back row. Collier is there. They'll back set it for Patterson. Rejected by Despain and Brooklyn Welsh. And the Cyclones reclaim the advantage, 7-6. 7-6 lead here for the Cyclones in game number 1. Maddie Calvert to it again. Back row popped up high by Hartstern. Helped out by Collier. Patterson tips it. Welsh has it for West Prairie. Calvert back to Welsh. Blocked, but Welsh returns, and Gorsuch has it for North Fulton. Outside it is Patterson down the line and out of bounds. And West Prairie takes an 8-6 lead. They also had a 2-point lead at 2-0. Serve by Calvert, right in between the goalpost as two ladies looked at each other. And Ethan, that's one of those things. Somebody's got to say, I got it.
Yeah, the communication there, a little miscommunication as that one gave West Prairie the point.
Served by Calvert, again a screaming line drive. They'll bring it up to Gorsuch in the middle. Tapped just across the net. Despain has it for West Prairie. She's loaded from Calvert off the top of the net and drops in front of Hartstern and good, 10-6. Cyclones starting to very slowly build some momentum here. Serve again, this one short, and Takaroni tried to get it but couldn't bring it up off the floor. Beauty of a serve by Calvert. And we have a timeout here. We will thank our very fine sponsors. This is TSSR Game Time Line presented by MDH. JoJo's Gaming Parlor offers the best gaming experience in the McDonough County area. Stop in for a cold drink and a chance to take home a nice wad of cash while you're at it. Also on game nights, check out TSSR Game Time Live presented by MDH Events. Live on the big screens, come join your friends at JoJo's located at 776 North Cole Street, Bushnell, and cheer our area teams on to victory. Your farm is your legacy. As a leading farm insurer, Country Financial is here to help protect it. Call Brett Powell, your local country rep, at 309-652-3889 for a free quote today. The Princess Shop is your local one-stop home for women's apparel, accessories, and shoes. Stop in Monday to Friday, 10 a.m. to 5 p.m., Saturday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., located at 1520 East Jackson, Macomb. Patterson has it for North Fulton, and then once again, a little confusion over who was getting what, where. I don't know if Y had too much to do with it, but anyway, drops in for a 12-6 advantage for West Prairie. Calvert again, and same thing. And that's one of those things, Ethan, that Coach Julie McConkey may be talking to her group about is somebody's got to take charge and call it.
Yeah, that's one thing I've heard all the volleyball that I've been around. I've always heard the coaches, and in every sport really, talk to your team and communicate.
Set up in the up front for Schlish, and she's able to knock it past Watkins and good. Earns a much-needed side out for North Fulton. They make it 13-7. I did want to mention just coming in and now leaving, Olivia Hanlon came in, and she'll be replaced by Hartstern. Serving is Abby Patterson. Patterson serve off of Welsh. Now McLean Agnell over to Despain and hits that one just a little bit long. Cuts the lead to 13-8. A 13-8 lead. Patterson to it again. Back row, Calvert is there. Agnell sets it. It is Despain coming to the back row again, and she hits it in that. It is 13-9. West Prairie will talk it over. So will we. This is TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH.
McDonough District Hospital's Dolores Cater Schweitzer Women's Center was built for one goal: to strengthen women's health services in the region's premier facility. Our dedicated staff, past and present, delivered generations of MDH babies, and now in the new Women's Center, our staff is ready to deliver the next generation and beyond. Come visit the Dolores Cater Schweitzer Women's Center and see for yourself the MDH difference.
Back here, the Cyclones discussing things a little bit. Coach Terry Paul, as she continues, I haven't mentioned it yet because she gets kind of aggravated with me when I mention things like this, but continuing the crawl toward 1,000 career wins. Patterson serves it off of Calvert in the back row. Agnell to Despain, unloads Gorsuch. Nice dig. And now set up front. Tapped across. Watkins tried the one-hand save at it. And that one from Slish.
Almost made a basket.
Well, I don't know if they'd have counted that as a three. Probably would have been. It was deep enough. Patterson again. High floater this time. Calvert takes it. Agnell, quick setup for Welsh, pounds it past Patterson and good, and earns a side out for West Prairie. That makes it 14-10 here. And now Addie Despain will go back to serve. Allie Arnold will go in. Calissa Watkins going out. Allie Arnold coming in. And Addie Despain will serve it now for West Prairie. Despain's low line drive serve. Tacaroni underneath it. Gorsuch on the outside, brought over by Hartstern. West Prairie plays it. Kalki helps it out, but they cannot get it across in the recommended daily allowance of 3 hits and makes it 14-11. Side out for North Fulton. Bridson will come back in up front as Slish goes out, and Tacaroni will serve it. Low line drive. That one into the net, and it is 15-11. 4-point lead. West Prairie. Malia Houston back in as Kalki goes out, and Brooklyn Welsh back to serve now. Kind of that up front libero switch, and Brooklyn Welsh, I think she was trying the soft shot, Ethan, and just kind of one of those wink, wink, wink.
A little bit too soft, didn't quite make it over.
Collier serves off of Kalki. Agnell pops it high, and Malia Houston partially blocked. Agnell gets it out of there. Arnold now to Calvert, who will tip it over the net. Gorsuch set on the outside. They bring it in the hands of Hartstern. And now back come the Cyclones. Agnell just a little bit long and out of bounds. And after being down by 6 or 7, North Fulton's worked themselves back to within 2. Collier serving, picks it up off of Kalki. Agnell high in the air with it. Despain drops it in and good. And that one, you can tell she mishit it. It dropped, but it worked.
Mm-hmm.
Drops
Actually, I think if she might have gotten a hold of that one fully, it might have gone out of bounds with how hard she hit it.
Agnell serves it, and Patterson digs it. Tacaroni going out. Gorsuch across, and West Prairie takes it in the form of Kalki up to Calvert. Tipped up by Houston, and now North Fulton plays it. They're going to whistle that for 4 hits, as they say it was not off the block. And so it makes it 17-13. Now, you do get an extra hit if you get the block, but they're saying that she was down on the floor. She did not block. And Coach Julia McConkey trying to make that exact point that she thought the first hit was a block. You do, in some ways, you can count that. You can count them as 4, but they're saying that Bridson wasn't up high enough to count on the block. 17-13 West Prairie. Agnell deep back row. Gorsuch to the back line to get it. Tacaroni to Patterson. And she'll bring it in. Gwen Kalki gets it on the run. Agnell to Eddie Despain, the back row attack again. Dug up nicely and brought up front now. They'll bring it stuffed by the Cyclones, and Patterson plays it back. Calvert takes it outside. Agnell pops it high, and Maddie Calvert will bring it over. Patterson's got it for North Fulton. Tipped up there by Collier. Bridson knocks it down. Arnold up with it. Cyclones. Agnell to Calvert. Stuffed by Bridson.
That was a nice block, and that's exactly what you were talking about before we started this game, that size advantage that North Fulton might have because of her.
And you can see a little bit right there, folks, at home. You can see Bridson probably a good 2-3 inches taller than Malia Houston. Despain up with it, and now Houston loads off the blocks. And Taccaroni up with it to Collier. Patterson finally takes it, and Despain digs it back row for West Prairie. To Houston, puts that one through the blocks and good, and makes it 18-14. Calissa Watkins in again. Allie Arnold will go out for West Prairie. And Watkins will come back to serve here. The Cyclones trying to extricate themselves from the Wildcats here this morning. Served by Watkins, off Taccaroni back row. Collier in the middle. Bridson, dug by Gwen Kalki. Agnell up with it to Despain to the outside. Back row, brought up front for Gorsuch, loaded for Bridson. She'll tip. And Agnell will take it. She'll drop it in, kind of a dump.
Yeah, it's that off-speed play totally caught the defense off guard. And, you know, you can't do that all the time, but sprinkling a couple of those in every once in a while works just like that.
Served by Watkins, picked up by Patterson on the left. Now they'll back set it outside for Gorsuch. Tipped. And set it for Patterson. Now across it goes to Agnell. Now up to Kalki. Set outside for Despain. She'll bring it back row. Collier with it, but Patterson and Hartstern could not reel it in. 20-14 lead for the Cyclones. A 2 field goal lead. Since there is football going on today. Watkins, this time to Patterson, flips it over and set back for Gorsuch. She'll tip it. Watkins cannot get there on the fly. Good placement there, Ethan, by Gorsuch.
Yeah, noticing the defense and realizing that Watkins not going to be able to get to that ball in time.
Coming back to serve for North Fulton is Gracie Sharping as she replaced Bridson. Slish is back in as well. Kalki gets the serve. Agnell up with it over to Despain. Tips it. And bringing it up is Collier. They set it up front for Slish. Tipped by Patterson. Helped out. Now Patterson will flip it over. Despain to Agnell. Back set for Despain off the net and pulled out of there by Hartstern. Up front, Gorsuch brings it. And Kalki keeps it alive for West Prairie. Out for Calvert. Lobs it back row. It is Hartstern. To Collier in the middle to Slish, and Watkins trying to get up. Houston keeps it alive.
Wow.
And bumped over. Great save. And Patterson loaded up on the outside through the hands of Calissa Watkins and back, and it makes it 20-16. Beautiful save there by Malia Houston out of the net. Sharping back again to serve, trying to inch North Fulton a little closer, 20-16 lead now. Serve to Kalki. Agnell going to pop it high outside for Despain. Dug back row by Hartstern and set it for Patterson from Collier. Kalki for West Prairie. Up to Agnell. Outside Calvert, blocked. And Collier's there. Slish over to Patterson. She'll tip. And a nice running save by Agnell. Despain's going to have to bump it over from Houston. Hartstern to Collier. Back set, Gorsuch on the outside. That one out of bounds. Side out, back over to West Prairie. Bridson will come in and switch for Taccaroni in the back row. 21-16. As Gwen Kalki serves, and that one hits the top of the net. Makes it 21-17. Back to North Fulton it comes. Gorsuch, couple of slap dribbles, high floater off of Kalki. Agnell outside, Despain on the fly. That one, they're going to say blocked, but tipped over to North Fulton. Calvert couldn't get it from Slish, who says no deposit, no return. Timeout called by West Prairie. We will step aside as well. You're listening and watching TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH. Good Hope Gardens, located at 445 East Main Street in Good Hope, just east of the North Elementary School. Open April through October, Monday to Friday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. and Saturday, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. For all of your fresh produce needs, be sure to follow their Facebook page for daily updates. Currently taking orders for whole and half lamb freezer meat. Grover and Mary Jo DeCounter and family invite you to Good Hope Gardens. Come see where it's grown. Rosie's Pizza offers something for everyone with pasta, sandwiches, and of course pizza. Dine in or carry out at 458 East Main Street in Bushnell. They also deliver to Good Hope, Adair, and all points in between. For delivery, call 309-772-2101. Calkey receives a serve to Agnell to Despain, and that will get the ball back to you. Nice load up there, nice crisp load up, Ethan.
Yeah, I was just thinking this game hasn't really felt close, but it kind of has been the whole time. West Prairie just having between a 3, 4, 5-point lead pretty much this whole game.
Slish brings it across and now loaded up front for Agnell for West Prairie. Takaroni up front for Slish, and she hit that off the side of her hand, and they're going to say it dropped in on the sideline. So there you go. They stand about that 3-point advantage, 22-19 lead for the Cyclones. And Abby Patterson serving. Patterson off of Calkey, high in the air for Agnell, outside for Despain, off the blocks, saved at the floor, and then popped up Collier to Hartstern, and Watkins digs it for West Prairie. Calvert outside Despain, in and good, and it makes it 23-19. Cyclones trying to come on a finishing kick here as Addie Despain will come back to serve. Despain, her serve. Hartstern now to Gorsuch, set back for Slish, lobs it over, and Despain gets it on the run. Calkey helps her out, and Agnell bumps it over. Patterson takes to Gorsuch, back to the middle. Patterson across with it, and that one will go out of bounds and give West Prairie game point, 24-19. Coach McConkey saying, calm down. To her charges, serve off of Slish. Gorsuch outside to Hartstern, down and in the back row. And North Fulton, Ethan, they just continue to keep themselves in the game.
Yeah, this one, like I was saying earlier, it's a lot closer than it feels. You know, just a couple of good plays strung together in a row could get North Fulton back into this one.
Takarodi serves it off of Despain. Agnell high in the air. It is Watkins. She'll hammer it through, and that one no good. A little long. It's 24-21 right now. North Fulton in the, I guess, has to tie it up at 24, so can't allow a side out. Calkey to Agnell. Despain the outside attack. Blocked by Bridson. Dug at the floor and helped across by Gorsuch. Calkey has it for West Prairie. They set in the middle for Welsh. She'll hit that one into the net, and it's 24-22. You mentioned it. Here they go. That's a 3-point run now. Trying to tie things up and send it into overtime. Takaroni bringing it off of Calkey. High run. Agnell catches him down in there. Great time for that off-speed pitch, and that earns a Game 1 win for West Prairie as the Varsity takes Game 1 by a score of 25-22 over North Fulton. We will step aside and be back for Game 2 in a moment. You are watching TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH.
Well, we were camping, and then I got a phone call from my neighbor and said that we got hit by a storm. He said, you better come home because there's no roof. He said, I look up and see the sky. He didn't know what you were going to do, where you're going to go, you know, but Venture Financial took care of us.
We anticipate something that we hope never happens, but when it happens, we are there to make good on our promise.
Get dinner to the table quickly, no matter how busy your day's been. True Convection Cooking uses a fan to distribute hot air evenly and cook food faster. So dinner is ready when they are. True Convection Cooking, brought to you by Whirlpool.
During this COVID pandemic, it is important you take care of your health, especially your heart health. Do not ignore the signs of a heart attack or stroke. If you have health concerns, schedule an appointment with your provider, and always, in case of an emergency, call 911. This message brought to you by McDonough District Hospital and Blessing Health System. See for yourself why Blessing Health System is the leader in cardiology and pulmonology services. Appointments available inside MDH. Learn more at blessinghealth.org or mdh.org.
And here we are for game number 2 of the match. The Cyclones taking home game number 1 on the floor for West Prairie. At this point, McLean Agnell, Addie Despain, Ellie Powell, Malia Houston, Maddie Calvert, and soon to be Gwen Kalke replacing Brooklyn Welsh. On the floor for North Fulton, it is Abby Patterson, also Audrey Tacaroni, also Grace Bridson, Jenna Gorsuch. Serve off of Caitlin Collier, and Bridson brings it across. Dug there by Kalke. Agnell to Houston, tips it, and it's picked up by Kendra Hartstern. Hartstern loaded back and launches it long. Cleveland wins the pennant. Sorry, that comes from an old movie. 1-0 lead for West Prairie. McLean Agnell back to serve for West Prairie. Lets it go in the back row off of Collier. Now Tacaroni hits it across. And up for Despain. For Powell, who launches it just a little bit long and out. And it's a 1-1 tie. And actually, I see I did that on the scoreboard backwards, so now we're all right. I think that's maybe why they did it. Collier serves for North Fulton. Low line drive. Despain digs it up. Agnell on the fly. Outside Calvert. Blocked. And Bridson pops it up. Collier helps it out. And Bridson brings it through. Kalke to Agnell. Quick setup. Houston winds it up off the blocks with the kiss and makes it 2-1. Watkins in, and Ellie Powell will go out for West Prairie as back to serve comes Calissa Watkins. West Prairie winning the first one, 25-22. Took them a long time to extricate themselves. Serve off Watkins. Up to Collier now. They'll bring it Hartstern, stuffed. And I believe Malia Houston getting her hands on that one, Ethan.
Yeah, Malia Houston doing a nice job playing at the net there.
3-1 West Prairie here, game number 2. As Watkins goes to it again. Deep back row off Patterson. High in the air to Collier, set for Bridson in the middle. She'll unwind on, and that one just rolled off the top of the net and out of bounds, and the Cyclones take a 4-1 advantage.
There was a nice big hole there right in the front left part of the Cyclones defense, but like you said, that ball just rolled right on the net and out of bounds.
Collier gets it from Patterson. Bridson going to tip, and Despain with it now. Agnell going to bring it outside. Maddie Calvert over the blocks. Patterson digs on the left. And Collier will bring it back out there for Hartstern. Dug by Agnell. Popped up by Calvert. Despain bumps it over. And Patterson's there for North Fulton. The Wildcats load it to Bridson. Past Gwen Kalke and good. It is 4-2. 4-2 lead here for West Prairie. Side out for the Wildcats as Kendra Hartstern serves. Hartstern. Right side, low line drive. Kalke takes it. Agnell back set for Houston. Back row just a little bit too long. Everybody kind of holding their breath for a moment there, and that one just going to drop in on the back line. Serve coming again, and that one taken by Despain. Agnell's up with it to Despain, the load up. Tacaroni brings it up front. Collier to Patterson. That one right between Watkins and Kalke and good, and we're tied up at 4. And North Fulton again showing that they want to hang around in this one. 4-4 tie as Kendra Hartstern will serve. Hartstern line drive picked up by Despain off the floor, but not able to control. And the Wildcats take their first lead at 5-4. 5-4. Hartstern again. Off of Kalke. Agnell gets it out of the net. Despain comes through and creams that one out of bounds. So it makes it 6-4. Wildcats lead it here by 2. Behind Hartstern. Kendra Hartstern brings it again. Off of Kalke. Despain high in the air with it to Houston. She'll tip. And Hartshorn comes running to get it. Collier back set. Gorsuch over the blocks. Watkins digs. And now Agnell brings it back across. Tipped up by Patterson. Taccaroni gets it through. Agnell out for Despain. Rolls it over. And Collier sets it up for Gorsuch. Right side. She'll tip deep. Kalki takes it for West Prairie. Agnell over for Calvert. That one's going to go out of bounds. The lead 7-4 for North Fulton. Timeout called by West Prairie. We will step aside as well. This is TSSR Game Time Live presented by MDH.
My MDH Sports Medicine and Rehabilitation does more than just tape ankles.
They get us back on the court.
My MDH Sports Medicine and Rehabilitation
helps me reach peak performance
in the weight room. Prepares me for competition.
My MDH physical therapists and the fitness programs MDH offers help me on my road to recovery and improve my quality of life.
Come see why MDH Sports Medicine and Rehabilitation was voted best of the best in McDonough County.
Back here as Coach Terry Paul talking to her charges there, trying to get them going. And Ethan, as I kind of... Okay, and I want to thank... help with pronunciations there for the fans. And Addie Despain bringing that one down, drops it home in good and makes it 7-5. 7-5 lead here for North Fulton. Serve picked up. Tarchioni up front to Bridson, tipped over. And now Agnell with it. Kalki, somebody got to get it. And finally Gwen Kalki takes it. Calvert. And now brings it across. They load up to Patterson. Kalki diving save in the back row from out of bounds. And Watkins finally helping them bring it across. Collier to Bridson. She'll lob it over, and Watkins takes it for West Prairie. Out it comes for Calvert off the hands of Hartshorn. Ricochets on. Tarsiani up and tipped over by Patterson and good. So finally makes it 7-6, and the Cyclones starting to come back the other way. Now, if you're North Fulton, you got to get this momentum stopped because they had a really good head of momentum coming. Gwen Kalki serving here for West Prairie. Serve is low off the arms of Bridson and back. We're tied up at 7 apiece, and we're seeing this, Ethan, huge momentum swings back and forth between the two teams.
Yeah, this also seems like it's going to be a game of runs in this second one. You know, that last rally, even though West Prairie ended up with the point, that's something that both coaches love to see, is their players running around, doing their absolute best to try and get to the ball.
And Gwen Kalki, example of that there. Gorsuch brings it back for North Fulton, though, and they get a big stop as the Wildcats make it 8-7.
Very high effort match here between these two teams.
And especially on a Saturday morning, Bridson comes out and Sharping will come back to serve. 8-7 lead for North Fulton. Her serve off Kalki. Agnell up with it, out for Despain, blocked, and Agnell recovers it. Loaded up again, hit back row off the hands of Collier and down. Now let's switch around again. Tarsioni coming in. Serve by Maddie Calvert. Comes the low line drive, bandage up an ace for Maddie Calvert, and it's a 9-8 lead for West Prairie. 9-8 now, 1 point advantage here. Served by Calvert again, hard shot off Gorsuch. Set in the middle, tipped over, and I got to get the name of that player. They slipped her in on me. Despain hammers it back. Beauty of a save by Hartstern, and then West Prairie trying to keep it alive and cannot. That was blocked by Ellie Quick, and an appropriate volleyball name. Ellie Quick got a couple of nice blocks there. 9-9 tie. Serve again, Gorsuch. Over to Agnell for Despain, and she'll hit that one in net, and North Fulton, here they come again. And I'm telling you, North Fulton, serving-wise, I am very impressed. 10-9, they can really bring the heat. Deep back row, Kalki takes the line. Agnell tips it across and drops it home. She has done that at times and have been a big momentum turners. 10-10 tie. Addie Despain serves it for West Prairie. Collier pops it up. Gorsuch in the middle, quick. Gets it off her hand. Watkins saved by Agnell out of bounds, and Welsh bumps it back road. Tarcioni up front for Patterson. And up it comes for Calvert. Hit through by and picked up by Gorsuch. Brought across, and Despain able to get it back line. Out it comes for Watkins. And dug there, Hartstern. Gorsuch keeps it up, and Patterson lobs it deep back row. Up to Calvert, to Welsh, puts it in, and good. 11-10, 1 point lead for West Prairie.
A nice little volley there by both sides.
And that's going to bring Eddie Despain back again. Despain lets it fly, taken by Collier, needs help. Gorsuch now to Collier. And dug by Kalki on the fly. Somebody's going to have to get it, and nobody calls it. Drops home. 11-11, we're tied.
Looks like Maddie and Addie there couldn't quite decide which one of them that ball was their responsibility or not.
Eddie Despain will come out, and Lauren Powell make an appearance. Abby Patterson serves for North Fulton and drops it. That one of those that just rolled off the table the minute it got there. And now Maddie Calvert will come out as Grace Vanonic will go in. 12-11, North Fulton here by 1. Patterson, high short floater, and Vanonic not able to get it as well.
That same spot now, a couple of serves in a row, just a little bit short.
Served by Patterson again. This time a hard shot. Gwen Kalki trouble with it. And the wheels kind of have fallen off here. And we've got a timeout called by West Prairie. North Fulton taking control. They lead 14-11. This is TSSR Game Time Live presented by MDH. Tri-County Seeds, your local golden harvest seed advisor located in Scioto. Rooted in genetics, agronomy, and service for over 10 years. Contact Nate Todd at 309-333-3437 for all your golden harvest corn, soybean, and seed treatment needs. The Community News Brief is a free publication distributed to over 68 locations in Bushnell, Macomb, Colchester Industry, Adair, and more towns throughout the area. It provides local news to McDonough County and parts of Fulton County every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. To submit a press release or get advertising information for the locally owned publication, contact Lynn at 309-333-8245 or email communitybrief@gmail.com. Patterson back to serve once again. And Grace Vanonic will go out, as will Lauren Powell, Maddie Calvert, and Eddie Despain. Coming back in, a little bit of a reset for the ladies. 14-11, North Fulton with the lead. Serve off of Calvert up to Agnell. She'll set it for Welsh, who pounds it, but just a little bit long. It is 14-11. 14-11 advantage, or 15-11, I should say, advantage. Patterson again, back row. Calvert is there. Agnell flips it, and Hartstern up with it. Gorsuch back sets it to Collier off the blocks. Watkins up high with it. Calvert now. Watkins punches it over, and Patterson takes it. Gorsuch outside. Hartstern blocked. Quick is underneath it. A fight for it at the net. West Prairie keeps it alive. Back to Hartstern. Kept alive. Kalki with it, and bumped over by Watkins. Tarcioni gets it out front for Quick. Dug up by Despain, and Calvert sends it back. Running save. Collier up front to Quick. Tipped over. Agnell keeps it alive. Kalki to Calvert. Patterson loaded in the middle for Quick. She'll hit it. Past Watkins. No, they're going to say out of bounds. Said she didn't touch it. And makes it 15-12 on the side out. Malia Houston in. Watkins out as Powell will come in. And Brooklyn Welsh will serve it now for West Prairie. Served by Welsh. Up front to Collier now for Quick. And a lob it across. Agnell is there. They back set it out for Powell. She'll hit it off the blocks. Patterson to Gorsuch. And Collier bumps it over to Welsh. Despain. Calvert bumps it over. Collier is there. Gorsuch. Now Tarcioni brings it across off of Despain. Up front for Houston. Tapped over, and Patterson's there. Outside it is Hartstern, stuffed by Powell. And North Fulton keeps it alive. A little confusion. Two girls collide and makes it a 15-13. West Prairie trying to work their way back in. Serve by Welsh. That one going to come into the net. And that's kind of reared its ugly head a couple times here today. Kauke going to come back in. And now Tarchioni going to come in to serve it. 16-13, North Fulton lead. Serve off to Despain. Kauke up high in the air, bumped over by Calvert. Tarchioni takes it. Well, actually, Patterson and Bryson couldn't decide who was going to take it. And the communication on this Saturday morning, Ethan, lagging a little bit.
Yeah. And in both of these games so far, West Prairie only a couple points ahead or a couple points behind. And the difference is, I think, the missed serves. I don't think North Fulton has missed a serve that I can remember.
Not here in the varsity match, anyway. And their serves have been awfully lethal. 17-14, 13-point lead now. As Collier serves for North Fulton. Low serve off of Despain. Agnell pops it high. Calvert off the blocks, and Patterson there to dig it up. Collier now loaded for Hartstern. Tip. And taken there, Agnell up front to Houston, did not get across. Hit the tape instead of the hands of Bryson, and it's 18-14. North Fulton taking control again. Collier eyes it up, brings it off to Spain, up front to Agnell. Outside Calvert, she'll lob it down the line. Tarchioni brings it up. Up for Bryson, dug by Despain in the back row. Agnell back sets it. Powell has to just bump it through. And Collier now up front with it. Will bump it across and out of bounds. Not exactly what she had in mind. And give West Prairie a little bit of a break here. Ellie Powell goes out, as coming back to serve is Calissa Watkins. 18-15, the lead is now 3 for North Fulton as they try to hang on and force a game 3. Serve by Watkins off Patterson. Collier for Bryson. The load up, partially blocked by Houston. Agnell sends it back row, and Patterson couldn't get to it. She and Tarchioni were trying to get it and couldn't. 18-16, lead down to 2. Lead is down to 2. After getting and bringing it is Watkins. Patterson up high with it. Collier outside Gorsuch, and that one goes in and good. Did the same thing West Prairie's been doing and hit it to the sideline, 19-16. 3-point lead. Hartstern serving now. And her serve, beauty of serve. Kauke gets it to Despain. She hits it off the blocks and out of bounds and makes it 19-17. I have been really impressed, Ethan, with North Fulton serving. Man, they can unload it.
Yeah, and then, like I was saying earlier, that's the difference in this game right now is the serves versus missed serves.
Tarchioni brings it up. They bring it to the net, and Eddie Despain saying no deposit, no return, drops it home. And it is 19-18. North Fulton will talk it over, so will we. This is TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH. This West Prairie game stream is made possible by McDonough Telephone's fiber internet. McDonough Telephone offers lightning fast and reliable fiber internet, video, phone, and camera systems in the McDonough County area. Call 309-776-3211 to check your availability. Yetter Farm Equipment in Colchester is an industry leader with a tradition of solutions since 1930 and wishes the Cyclones and Sparklones great success during this fall sports season. Don't let the varmints and creepy crawlies get the best of you. Contact Beck Pest Control in Colchester. Beck Pest Control can let you sleep easy when the lights are out, knowing you have no uninvited guests running around. Contact them at 309-313-5521. That's Beck Pest Control. Get the bugs out. 19-18 lead, and that one, Patterson, beauty of a job bringing that up. But North Fulton not able to get it. That one came off the top of the net. A good serve, and I'm telling you, a great effort by Patterson to try and get that up. And the Cyclones will try to take the lead, 19-19 tie. Kauke serve off Bryson, high in the air, Collier. Outside Patterson, she had to kind of scoot to get it. Agnell's there. Kauke calls it out, and Addie Despain stuffed. Agnell recovers it. This time it's Calvert who will bump it over to Gorsuch. Tarchioni hits it through, and it's picked up there by Calvert. Up to Despain. She'll hit it right into the arms of Patterson and Bridson. 2019, when North Fulton's needed a stop, they have gotten one.
That's what I was going to say, too. You know, if North Fulton wants to force this game 3, right now is the time that they have to do it. Same for West Prairie. If they want to put this one away, they're going to have to turn things around right about now.
Kalki outside for Despain, and that one off the hands of Hart, Stern, and back. And I'm not sure if she would have let that one go. It might have gone out. Sharping out. Bridson, they kind of do that switch around. Tarchioni coming in. 20-20 tie. And Calvert serve. Gorsuch has it back row. Up front for Quick, and she'll hit it in and good past Gwen Kalki. So every time that West Prairie's tried to take the lead, it has been North Fulton finding a way to get it back. 21-20 they lead. Gorsuch off of Calvert. Agnell back sets it to Despain. She'll cross court it and put it in and good. It is a 21-21 tie. 21-21 tie. Addie Despain made the good play. She gets to serve, sort of how volleyball works. As Despain. Despain to it now, and that one popped backwards by Quick. Jumped out by Tarchioni, and then Hartstern hits it into the net. West Prairie has taken the lead for the first time, Ethan, in a long time.
And like I was saying earlier, if West Prairie wanted to put this one away, they would have to turn it around, and so far they've done that.
Quick up with it to Gorsuch, bumps it over. Kalki now for Calvert, back sets it as Agnell, lobs it back row. Brought up front, Collier on the fly to it to Patterson. Blocked, Watkins is there for West Prairie. Calvert sets it for Watkins, she'll tip, and Patterson digs it up. Gorsuch for Patterson, tips it, Calvert to one end, Agnell keeps it alive, and Kalki bumps it over. Tarchioni up front, they'll work it for Quick. Back row, Despain digs it, Calvert keeps it alive, and Despain comes through, but hammers it out of bounds, and we're tied at 22. What a save by Maddie Calvert.
That's exactly what I was talking about. That effort, those effort plays really make the difference here in these close games.
Abby Patterson the serve off of Kalki. Agnell will tip it up. Welsh flips it over and dug by Collier of North Fulton to Gorsuch. Hartstern bumps it over, but out of bounds it goes, and West Prairie takes the lead 23-22. Houston back on, Kalki out. Powell in and Watkins out as Brooklyn Welsh serves. 23-22 Cyclones. Welsh to Hartstern. In the middle to Gorsuch. Pops it high. Collier and picked up by Brooklyn Welsh. Calvert outside. Agnell over the blocks. Patterson, nice dig. And North Fulton. Here's the load up from Hartstern. Back row. Welsh is there. Up to Houston. She'll tip it. Patterson brings it high. Gorsuch now. Tarchioni dug by Despain. Hit back row. North Fulton brings it up again. Gorsuch to Despain. Calvert tips it over and once again got him. Game end or match point. Game end or match point. We've got a timeout called by North Fulton. We will step aside as well. This is TSSR Game Time Live presented by MDH. Heil Enterprises and Heil Trucking can take your product down the road near or far and also offers top-notch heavy-duty truck and trailer repair. His second generation business continues to grow and continues to support local athletics. Stop by and see Danny or Travis on Route 41 south of Prairie City or call them at 309-775-3333. United Community Bank's services are designed to keep you in the game when you are on the go with online and mobile banking. That's nothing but net to friendly services you can count on from the leader of community banking. Choosing UCB is always a slam dunk. Visit a location near you with branches in Colchester, Bushnell, Colchester, 2 in Macomb. UCB is member FDIC. And so the Cyclones here with a chance to finish it off. North Fulton's really got to dig it in here. Welsh's serve. Sent up front to Gorsuch. Now Quick with it. Taps it over, and Despain has it for West Prairie. They set up for Houston. That is a game winner. The Cyclones, in a dogfight, come away with the win by a pair of 25-22 victories over North Fulton to finish this one off in 2. We're going to step aside, be back with our post-game show in a moment. You are watching TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH.
My MDH Sports Medicine and Rehabilitation does more than just tape ankles.
They get us back on the court.
My MDH Sports Medicine and Rehabilitation
helps me reach peak performance.
In the weight room. Prepares me for competition.
My MDH physical therapists and the fitness programs MDH offers help me on my road to recovery and improve my quality of life.
Come see why MDH Sports Medicine and Rehabilitation was voted best of the best in McDonough County.
Get dinner to the table quickly, no matter how busy your day's been. True Convection cooking uses a fan to distribute hot air evenly and cook food faster. So dinner is ready when they are. True Convection cooking, brought to you by Whirlpool.
You know, you see fires on TV all the time. You don't understand what the families are really going through until you've lived it. The day before the fire, life was good. We went to bed, we woke up, and we had nothing. If it was not for Country Financial, we would still have nothing.
And we are back here as we continue to wrap things up. Get ready. Of course, we'll be in your ears coming up on Tuesday, as we'll have West Prairie on the road at Bushnell Prairie City. I'll join Dwayne and the crew up there as we'll bring you that one. And then coming up on that'll be our only one for the West Prairie side of things for this week, as then they will go to the next week. We'll have a couple for you coming up. And did want to mention the scores from today's games. In the JV game, it was West Prairie winning 25-13 and 25-23. The Varsity comes away with wins 25-22 and 25-22 over the North Fulton Wildcats. Do want to wish you and yours a very happy and safe if you're traveling. Of course, especially if you're traveling, do not watch the game while you're driving your car. I would appreciate that as well. But anyway, do have a wonderful and safe Easter weekend, folks. So glad you guys are alongside us here. We're going to bring Coach Paul in. There you go. Terry with... and that's always the hazard of Saturday games. Volleyball lends itself to Saturdays a little bit more, but each team had their own struggles today, kind of had times where they had to dig out of the mud, but were able to do so.
Right. We had the same struggle over at Monmouth Roseville. I really don't know. We've been working hard in practice, and we just are – we're not in rhythm. There's no flow. I mean, there's score a point, lose a point, score a point, lose a point, and – to me, volleyball's a rhythm game, and we've struggled the last 2 matches.
And it's one of those, I shouldn't say it's a long season, because it's not. In a normal season it would be. But with the way a lot of the things are going, you know, this is where kids have to understand that, you know, it's an overused cliche of gut check time. But this is when it is, when, you know, you've been at this for several weeks, some of them coming from basketball. This is where you've really got to dig deep and find that extra reserve of energy.
Right, and this time of year, you know, with school closing out and others, you know, sports starting up and other things, a lot of things happen in the spring. Volleyball's never been in the spring. I've coached softball many years and had to have faced a lot of this type of situation. But, you know, I'm just not sure. We're just in a low period right now. So fixing it will be our goal.
And that you had a lot of players some step up. Maddie Calvert had a gorgeous save off the floor in that game number 2 here today. I know Malia Houston had a couple of nice plays, nice blocks. The JV as well, you could pick spots where a lot of those girls did some good things. And the JV down a person today, we're having to adjust a little bit. Important thing is they were able to pick up the wins, find a way to close things out.
That's correct, and I've been spending a lot of time in practice with the JV, because we're practicing for the most part together. I've been spending a lot of time on their details, and we often expect the upperclassmen to play pretty well all the time, and they're human, and we have to remember that. So, and I'm trying to let them think through the game and the situations and do some of their own communication. I'm trying not to coach them on every play. So, yeah, we'll get there.
All right. Well, thanks, Terry. And we wish you good luck. We'll see you next Tuesday in Bushnell.
That game's been canceled.
Okay. So we won't see you in Bushnell.
But I think it's being made up or already scheduled. So, but it just won't be Tuesday.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, too, for all you do.
And Ethan, some final thoughts here this morning?
I just, not every win is a pretty win, but what matters at the end of the day is finishing, and West Prairie was able to do that both at the JV and varsity level. It was kind of a dogfight, both of the games. No, it wasn't really a blowout either way. It was kind of like up 3, up 4, down 2. Something like that. So, it really just shows the grit that these teams have to be able to get into a dogfight like that and put it together and win.
Well, thank you, young fella. I enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun here this morning. And with that, that's going to wrap things up from here. You have been watching TSSR Game Time Live presented by MDH.